Radical Dem Jerry Nadler and his cohorts there, they want to nullify laws. They want to nullify elections and nullify the special counsel's conclusions. The Radical Dems have reached new lows. Devoid of any sense of decency, they have truly become swamp creatures. Joining us tonight is Harmeet Dillon, managing partner at the Dillon Law Group, RNC committeewoman for the state of California. Harmeet, great to have you with us. Let me start with what we're listening to here. Ignore the special counsel conclusions, ignore law, ignore restraint, decency, civility, ignore the reality, which is that William Barr, as Attorney General of the United States, he did not lie, and they know it, which makes them liars.
Absolutely. And ignore the will of the voters as well, Lou, because that's what they're doing here. Not only did the voters vote for Donald Trump overall, but they also don't like this impeachment talk. And, you know, when Nancy Pelosi is the voice of reason amongst the Democrats, I think they're in real trouble. And you know, the changing of words with regard to the spying Christopher Wray did today, that was pretty disgraceful. You know, the FBI has been doing this in certain periods of our history. It was wrong when the FBI weaponized itself against Martin Luther King Jr. and spied on him. And it's wrong when they're doing it today. And this is going to go down as a dark period in history for our greatest law enforcement agency.
There are lots of ways to say this, but I'm going to just say what I feel. And that is that the FBI director is a twit. He is precious. He seems to be filled with an immense sense of self and highly flattering sense of self. And to actually contradict his boss, the Attorney General, and the President of the United States is arrogance that I don't think should be tolerated for even a minute.
Well, it's familiar to us, though, right, Lou? James Comey, Andrew McCabe.
I think that's part of why I have a problem. It's all too familiar from the heads of the FBI and Justice Department.
Absolutely, and you know, Rod Rosenstein has kind of been flipping sides there as well in the last days of his tenure, but he is of the same cloth, and they're more loyal to the institution than they are to the oath that they took when they joined that institution, and it's really shameful. I hope that the Attorney General will now flush these people out, but they're burrowed in deep, Lou, so I think it's a pretty huge task to do that.
I think it is, but I don't believe we could have asked for anyone better than William Barr to be the Attorney General. He has been so impressive. One of the things that I took away with this specious nonsense, the semantic crap spewed by the FBI director about spying and surveillance, I cheered when William Barr said he would not back off his use of the word spy because it's a perfectly serviceable Anglo-Saxon word. He said what he meant. One of the problems that the swamp and the deep state, as you've mentioned, one of the reasons they're having so many problems, they're not used to plain-spoken, highly intelligent people shutting them down and, in fact, cornering them in their own, nonsense.
Well, they use these types of sleights of hand and tricks with words to confuse the public, and they confuse the public because they have to, because Americans don't want a secret police. They want a law enforcement agency, right. And that's what FBI is supposed to be. And we've seen the secret police in our country and in other countries go way into major civil rights violations. So, I mean, luckily this was caught fairly early on, but as far as I'm concerned, there's evidence that this type of spying has continued to go on into the Trump administration, probably happening right now. It wouldn't surprise me.
It would not surprise me either, and it still dismays me that not as far as I know, rank-and-file agents didn't step forward in this entire 2-year, well, it's a 3-year process, 11 months of the FBI investigation, 22 months of the special counsel investigation, to say this is what's going on. This is the madness that is there. This is the toxic political corruption that has seized this agency, this department. That's very disappointing to me. Equally disappointing is the Democrats to continue with their mindless resistance. Their ignorance is beyond imaginings. Your thoughts about